Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's hopefully the last day of the heat wave here in Berlin, and this week a very workmanlike spread. I invented it myself. It's called the weather forecast spread, and the idea of this spread is to help you to prioritize your life. If you're someone who multitasks, maybe you're a working mother, or maybe you're an artist with several different projects on, or maybe you're just someone who has got a number of different jobs, or maybe you're just, part of modern life and you need to try and organize your time, you might like to have a spread which helps you to prioritize the week ahead. And this spread will invoke the help of the tarot to kind of predict where you should direct your attention in the coming day or week. I sometimes do this spread for a period of 48 hours and it seems to work quite well. I'll explain how it goes and you can see if you find it interesting. Okay, first of all, make yourself a template. And what we're doing here is we are dividing our lives into 12 different departments. And it's slightly to do with the astrological spread of 12 houses. So just make yourself 12 positions in a kind of clock formulation. Okay? So you're going to put down 12 cards. Now I want to make it clear that this is entirely up to you what you put in these boxes. It's very nice to design your own spread. It's essential part of your practice. Now in these 12 boxes you have 12 possibilities for putting the different things that you might have to do in your life. Now I have 2 or 3 different projects on the go and I need to find places to put those on my 12 boxes. So like I've got here project 1 and I've put it in the 10th house because it's the project that's most likely to get me attention. I've also got project 2, put it in the 8th house because it actually deals with sexuality. I've got project 3, I mean these are also jobs. That's my tarot practice. And I put it in 12 because that's really the house of, Neptune and woo-woo things, isn't it? I've actually also got here in the 1st house my solo projects. These are the ones that really I work on my own. They don't involve my friends or my partner. They're things like, my autobiography, these solo things that are always cooking. So that I put in the 1st house, which is very much the house of me. Okay, now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 8 more boxes. At this stage, we can really use the 12 house structure. So, for example, I would suggest here, 10th, friends. Are you going to give friends special attention this week? Are you going to call someone? Are you going to be there for people if they need you? Here I have partner. I'm married. Actually, when I do this spread, quite a lot of the time the tarot says, yes, some priority here, please. Give your partner that extra little bit of attention and support that they might need. Or if you're not married or don't have a partner, interpret that as you want. Are you looking for a partner? Or do you have business partners? Anyway, I have a box for partner there. I have a box here. Number 6 I use for health and exercise. This one, the 4th house, I actually use, I call that housekeeping. I'm not quite sure how strictly accurate this is in astrological terms, but that's not the point. We are creating our own spread here and we are creating our own template. You can do anything you like. 9, I'm going to put reading. Reading is an important part of life. Finding books, giving it a bit of attention, expanding your mind. Here, finance. And I also put here life management. I mean, it's a bit like housekeeping, isn't it? Life management, but there's things like checking your bank balance or making sure that bills are paid or that money's come in. It's not quite the same as hoovering the flat, is it? And here I've got, for number 3, communication. And it may be, if the tarot indicates this one, it may be there's someone you need to attend to. Maybe you need to check your emails. Maybe you need to make sure you have replied or had a conversation of some sort. Here, number 5, well, I'm going to write this in big letters. It's fun, isn't it? And sometimes we don't prioritize fun. That's how I do it. You can do it any other way. And you'll notice that these boxes, these 1, 2, 3, 4 here, are really customized. I've not even told you what's in these boxes particularly, but I need those boxes because I have at least 4 different jobs. And I really use those boxes a lot to help me to prioritize my week. Now what you can do is you're going to use this template so you can, make it a bit more clock shaped, and you'll see why in a second. It's exciting. It's a bit like one of those kids series of how to make things, isn't it? Ask the universe to give you your priorities for the week ahead or the day ahead or whatever period of time you choose. Shuffle the cards, ground yourself, trust, and then deal out the cards like this. Okay? Now, very important, count the reversals. We need to have at least 6 upright cards. So you have a contract, you have an agreement with the tarot that this is what you're going to do. You're going to use the yin-yang rule. And that means that if more than 6 cards are reversed, you will reverse the whole reading. I'm going to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's okay. If there had been 7, I would have reversed every card in this reading. And this is actually something that I generally do. It's an agreement I have with the tarot. It's a traditional thing. You just need to be sure that you know that you're going to do that whenever you ask the tarot for advice so that you don't drive yourself mad. Okay, next step. Reverse cards, hide them. Okay, the next step, we are only going to work here with aces and major arcana. So I want you to hide everything that isn't an ace or a major arcana. And that is your priority for the day or the period of time or the week ahead. You don't need to read this card. It's just an indication of energy, an indication of where to look. And here we have project 1. So in my case, for example, I have an art project. I'm in an art collective. I'm working on it with friends. As I said, it's the one that gets me the most attention. Therefore, I've put it in the 10th house. All I need to know is that of the 12 houses, this is the priority for the period of time that we're talking about. Now, clearly you have to answer the telephone. Clearly you have to, pay your bills and do the washing up during this time period. But this is a reading which just suggests where you might give a little bit of extra attention or don't drop the ball in this area. So for me, for example, in this week, that's absolutely right. I mean, this project, I cannot take my eyes off the ball for this week, for this project. Let me do another reading for you quickly and just show how it can also turn out. I mean, I hardly need to shuffle for you here because I'm really just demonstrating the technique, but I'll cut. Okay, we count the reversals. There's only 1, 2, 3 reversals, so we don't need 1, 2, 3, 4 reversals, so we don't need to reverse the whole reading. Let's do that. And let's get rid of those reversals. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we get rid of everything that isn't major arcana or an ace. That's nearly everything. 1. Fool there, looking good. And the knight and the ace. So in my case, I have here a nice reading. I'm being encouraged to give some attention to my tarot practice, project 3, and also to not forget to have fun. I'll do one more for you, just to show you how it can work. Okay, here's another example. Let's count the reversals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 reversals. So I'm going to reverse the whole reading. And put it back together again. Now I'm going to hide the reversals. And I'm going to hide everything that isn't major arcana or ace. And here we have, in project 2, my 8th house, that is the project that I need to give a little bit of extra attention to this week. Just not to take my eye off the ball for that project. And that's how it works, ladies and gentlemen. You sometimes get more things. Sometimes you're asked to give your attention to 2 or 3 things. But I find it's extremely accurate. And I call it weather forecast because sometimes what it's saying is that things are going to be brewing in that project, or there's going to be things brewing in the house of fun or in the house of friendship. And it helps you to stay a little bit aware so that you don't miss things. I recommend it thoroughly. It's my own invention, the weather forecast spread. Barbara Moore, in a very, very good book, Tarot Spreads, encourages us to invent our own spreads. And she also encourages us to customize spreads that we find in books or that our friends or helpers tell us about. So feel free to customize that, make it your own, try it out. It's absolutely fabulous. You have been watching Robert Farrar from Robert Farrar's Tea and Tarot, or at least you have been watching my hands. I hope you have a lovely rest of August. See you in 2 weeks. Bye.